Well, here we go with another day of the computer models honing in on what could become a hurricane and taking a more westward track. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. I know your time is valuable, so I want to get right to it and show you what I'm watching right now. If you will, please let me know right now where you're watching from. That does help me out as I'm forecasting. What we're watching right now is a strong wave that's coming off the coast of Africa right now. Now, above me, you see two areas are hatched by the National Hurricane Center. Yes, I'm watching them, but I'm not as concerned about those areas. Folks, this is the channel to keep up to date on all things tropical mischief. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel if you have not already, and turn on those notifications. It's the best way to stay safe when it comes to these hurricanes and unpacking the computer models. I'm going to be tracking it for you every step of the way. So let's start first with what we have right now highlighted by the National Hurricane Center, and know that by the time you're watching some of these videos, they could be upgraded. In this case, we have two areas that are highlighted, which will likely get names. Not in the near term for this one off the Carolina coast. Thankfully, that one's pulling away and won't impact the United States. But as it's pulling away, some of the models do show it becoming an organized system like Dexter. Then you've got this Invest 96L that possibly will become a named system. Pretty ravaged right now. Doesn't look very healthy, but once it gets in here, not expected to develop right now, but once it gets in here, it likely will. And this is going to carve out a path and dictate the steering currents after that, which leaves us vulnerable to the other wave that is splashing in right now. So here we are, big picture, but let's zoom in where it matters. This is our little wave right now. It's not much to look at, but once it gets into some warmer waters, this is expected to develop. And what that's going to do is it's going to shift the Bermuda high a bit and allow this wave that's back here to be a lot more of a formidable threat. And folks, this is a concern. For days now, our computer models have been flashing signals of hurricanes and flashing signals it wants to head west. I mean, we've had Maine, we've had Mexico in on threats for landfalls from this. So the models have been all over the place. And guys, I'll tell you, and I'll tell you all day long, that this channel, that early forecasting like this, is meant to be early indication. It's not gospel. We don't expect the computer models to know exactly where things are going to go at this level. But what we do want to see out of them is consistency. Do they continuously show something in a location that we need to be watching? It's got to be watched very closely. So what do the models show today? All right, so first and foremost, watching for this first wave, because again, this Bermuda high is very weak and needs some adjustment. And this thing's going to really kind of plow in here, put a dent in it, and be no threat to the United States. So even though we might get a tropical storm, even a Cat 1 hurricane on some of the models, I don't expect it to be a threat. It's going to move in the middle of the Atlantic, a fish storm. But this other wave back here toward the west does look to form in its wake. And here's the deal. At this point, this is running block for the Bermuda high. So what it's going to do is tie up the Bermuda high. It's going to mess up the steering currents here and allow, do you see that steering current right there? More of a westward push to this, which is going to give this a higher chance at getting near some islands here, and as early as a week from now. All right, so let's go into Tuesday, Wednesday. Probably have a tropical storm on Tuesday. Wednesday, tropical storm. Thursday, possibly a hurricane. It's getting more compact, a lot more organized. Could it begin to really intensify here? This model says yes, becoming a strong hurricane Friday. So next Friday, we have a possible strong hurricane showing up on almost all of our computer models. GFS, the European, I'll show you all of them in just a moment. This is the GFS America model to start off. Because this guy ran block, messed up the Bermuda high, this guy was allowed to travel more to the west. All right, so here we go. Does it get close to the islands, folks? Again, we're in the 222-hour time frame, so we're getting more accurate, but folks, still, that's a long way away in weatherland. So yes, an idea. Does it get close to the islands? Do you need to be watching this in the Windward and Leeward Islands? Yes. Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Haiti, yes, yes, yes. The Bahamas, certainly. Okay? We've got to stay dialed in on this, folks. There's a growing sign, growing concern. Am I sounding the alarm bells? No. But do I need you to check back in a couple more times? Yes, okay? So this page, just so you know, I'm fully transparent. I'm going to be fully transparent in my forecasting. I'm not going to hype anything, but I will tell you when it's time to be concerned. It's not yet, but right now you need to stay dialed in. If we're a red light, we're not a green light anymore because, we're not smooth sailing. There aren't just no threats at all. We're probably at a yellow light right now. We need to slow down. We need to slow down. We need to check on things right now. We need to watch them and where things are going. Red light means stop, change plans, abort, and get some safety plans going. We're not there. We're just not there. All right, so here we go. Sunday, getting very close to the islands. In fact, let's shift over to another view. Same model, just different view. Get it caught up. Here it comes right there. Woo! 9:55. All right, it gets very, very close to the northern part of the islands right there. Very, very close to Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and Haiti. And now it has its sights set on the Bahamas. This would be the following Tuesday. So we're talking 10, 12 days out. Plenty of time to track it. But folks, know that when something's moving off the coast of Africa, within 12 days, it's usually near the United States. So that's why we have to watch it in areas like Florida, the Keys, to the Bahamas, to the islands. Even Central America has been on the map at some point. So this is the GFS run. Boy, oh boy, does it get very close to the Bahamas. 9:33, that's a Cat 5. It's got it going into North Carolina, South Carolina state line. Folks in Myrtle Beach, my friends, my family, guys, I'm a responsible meteorologist. You will see somebody post this somewhere out there that's going to say, hey, a Cat 5's heading to Myrtle Beach. Well, first of all, Ed Piotrowski will come and he'll find you, okay? He will find you and he will kick your tail, okay? But I'm telling you, you got to watch this system. This is not what the models are saying, but the models are saying we do need to be dialed in on it, okay? So watching this step by step very, very closely, just with a measured approach, we're going to be unpacking it here for you. Not time to freak out, but it's time to check in, folks, as you would any hurricane season. But right now, there's a signal on our models that we need to watch this closely. Just to show you comparison, the morning run of the European, or the GFS, I should say, had it way north. So because it's more north, it takes that cut early and threads that needle between the Outer Banks and Bermuda, and then gets close to Maine and Nova Scotia, but it threads that needle safely between Outer Banks and Bermuda. All right, now that's certainly a possibility. Let's go 3 runs back on the operational GFS run. Weaker, similar location, Bermuda. Let's go 4 runs back. Got something totally different. That first wave is stronger, more formidable over Bermuda. Second wave comes in through the islands, stays south in the Caribbean and weak. Then it pops out in the Gulf as a strong hurricane moves toward Texas. All right, so there's 4 runs of the European or the GFS, all with some kind of solution. So what's common in them all? What's not common? Let's start with what we know. We know there's a system on all of them. We know it's a strong system on all of them. We just don't know the location. Could it be out to sea? Could it be Mexico? Could it be Central America? Yes. Okay, so no, we do not need to freak out at this point. We do need to stay dialed in on it. Let's look at the ensemble models. This shows you a better look underneath the hood of the GFS model. Is it a healthy model? Was that a healthy run? Is it one model off by itself? All right, does that make sense? This is showing you 28 different variations of that same model, where it's going to be, where it could be, and we got something. We've got something. You've got a cluster of them here. Maybe 7, 8, 9. Consistency breeds confidence. Here we are. High pressure scooting this thing to the west. You've got quite a few lows showing up here. So we know there's something. There is a system here. They range from weak tropical storms to maybe lower end hurricanes. All right, let's keep going. This is that time frame. You got a lot of them out here threading that needle between Bermuda and the Outer Banks. Fewer of them are actually in the Gulf or closer to the United States. So this GFS model shows, yeah, there's a system, but the majority of them, I'd say more than half of them, kind of go in here between the Outer Banks and Bermuda. So that would be certainly much better news. Let's look at the member-wise low. So this is how low the European ensemble member wants to send it and where those lows are located. Got a big cluster of them out here, none of them over South Carolina, and then a few of them in the Gulf. So that tells me there's a better chance on the GFS of this curving out and around toward Bermuda, with the other half going toward the Gulf. Both are plausible scenarios, and honestly, right now, Maine's still just a possibility. The key at this point in the ball game is pattern recognition and where we see something, where we don't see something. And right now, we need to watch it, whether you're in the Carolinas, whether you're in the islands right now. You just need to be dialed in on what could be forming in the days to come. All right, so here's the European model. Let's just go ahead and flip it back to the most recent full run so you can see the whole thing run through. You're looking for blues. Here goes that first wave. Really not much, but it is enough to kind of kick in here. So is, the remnants of Dexter and whatever this thing off the Carolina coast does. It just disrupts the Bermuda high enough to allow whatever this second wave is to go more westbound. So nothing much really forms until this time next week, and it's really still sloppy until Friday of next week. That's when it starts to get more organized north of the islands, north of Puerto Rico, and then as it gets toward parts of the Bahamas, that's when it gets a little bit more concerning. You can see here we got a hurricane in the Bahamas the following Sunday. It wants to move it north through the Bahamas as a strong hurricane and then approach Florida's east coast just north of Miami near West Palm sometime Tuesday the 20th. Long ways out model-wise. It'd send it over Florida, right over central Florida on the 20th, meaning a lot of Florida could be impacted by this European solution. This is the last full run of the European. Then it would send it up over North Georgia, meaning the more volatile, dangerous, flooding winds would be in the Carolinas, the Western Carolinas, on this European run. Not a good one. Not a good run from our European friend today, folks. We get up into the mountains, and again, you'd be left with an onshore flow from the Gulf and the Atlantic. That would be a flooding solution for the Western Carolinas. And just to show you impacts, you'd have a huge swath of flooding rain here across Florida into Georgia, into the Carolinas. Carolina totals look to be 4 to 8 inches on this model. Florida totals are 10 to 15 inches. As far as winds on this model are concerned, it was a big one when it hit. And again, this is a model, not gospel. Wind gust swath, where you at? Let's see. You're looking at a landfall here in the reds, the purples. 90 to 100 miles per hour, somewhere in that realm. So a strong hurricane moving inland like that, all right? So that would be the latest European model. Let's go back to right here. So what do we know? What do we know from looking at the GFS most recent run and the European most recent run? We know there's a system. Both models, all of the models show a system. They don't agree with where. European's Florida. GFS was South Carolina. Both are southeast landfalls today. Not a good day for the southeast. We're still 10, 12 days out. There will be changes. Does it curve? Does it go toward the Gulf? Both are still possible. But the key here, what I know, let's focus on more about what I know than what I don't know, is that there is something to track. There is something there. But does it go over Bermuda? Does it go more to the west? That's what we have to iron out right here. Let's flip back over some older runs of the European model. Here's the run from last night. A little bit further south on the last night run of it. Goes toward Cuba. You got a little double action going on here on the European. Then it gets it into the Gulf. That's a big system. It's a 960. Be a major hurricane there at the tip of the Yucatan Peninsula. All right, so let's look at this further. Here's the AI version of the European model. So a little bit of enhanced capabilities, some different capabilities, I guess you could say. It's got a little something trying to form here, similar time frame, similar location to the GFS and the European. So there's some consistency for you. It's got it over Cuba, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Puerto Rico. Likely tropical storm or hurricane impacts a week and a day from now. So what's going to happen here, folks, is probably tomorrow you get a hatched area. Maybe. One of those where you do the X over Africa, then the water's highlighted. And then you probably sometime early, Sunday or Monday, get a PTC, potential tropical cyclone. And that would give early indications, because when you're a week out from something forming and hitting land, you need to know. So we could have tropical storm impacts here across the islands, Puerto Rico, into the Dominican Republic and Haiti, then Cuba, according to this European AI model. Then it spits it out in the Gulf. Not a good solution on our European model. That's a Panama City landfall, and it's a strong one. So again, Euro AI, no bueno. No bueno there. All right. Let's look at the ensembles. Do the ensembles support this particular run? Let's see if its operational runs are just crazy. This is the member-wise minimum, so you're looking at the lowest pressure, not millions of storms here, but where do they locate and what's the lowest they are? Got a big cluster here, so good identification that there is something. All right, so all the GFS ensembles, all the European ensembles, both of the operational runs are showing there is a storm. So that's the consistent part. Most of them are showing a hurricane. So strong storm and a storm. Got it, got it. That's about all I know right now. It's more than I knew yesterday, okay? What I still need to iron out, steering currents, ocean conditions, atmospheric conditions, things we just can't know at this stage to see how much stronger it gets and where does it go. All right, but we'll know. I mean, we're going to figure it out. It's just going to take some time. So a lot of them are in that southeast camp. Many others of them, this is not multiple hurricanes. This is just multiple iterations of where the hurricane could go. A lot of them are out here toward Bermuda, but a lot of them are in the southeast. Notice only a few of them actually enter the Gulf. A lot of them hit Florida's east coast and go to the Gulf, but not from the Caribbean to the Gulf. Most of them, almost all of them, show it going north of the islands. So yeah, if we're a red light, green light, yellow light situation here, we're at a yellow light right now. We're at a yellow light. Let's look at the ensemble mean locations. You got 51 different lows that could possibly be printed here. Where are they at? Where do they go? Let's roll this out. So there's plenty of them. You got 15 or so, maybe even 20. All right, got a lot of storms here. But I mean, if I'm drawing the cone, it's from Bermuda to Key West. It's not a very accurate cone. That doesn't help anyone other than say, everybody watch out. In this stage, that's probably true. Bermuda to Key West should be watching out. But should you be freaking out? No. Should you be canceling plans? No. Should you be trusting your meteorologist? Yes. So find somebody that you trust, stick with them. Hope it's me. I'll keep you posted. My stick here is early identification, early warning, but it does come with some responsibility on your end. You have to take that responsibility to say, hey, there's a chance something's going to form. Hey, not this guy on YouTube, Chris Justice, who's on TV in South Carolina, said there's going to be a big hurricane hit. No, I didn't say that. I said there could be. And I said, you need to be paying attention to it. All right? So yeah, there's some support from the European ensembles. And looking at the Euro AI ensembles, just because we have it, it's a tool that I have in my toolbox. Might as well use it. Got some identification of a storm. So, yep, we got storm identification. We have a lot more of these clusters between the Outer Banks and Bermuda than we do in the Gulf. So there's some good news for the Gulf, but there's not zero. I mean, roughly 10, 15, 20% of them are here. 30, 40% are here. Roughly half of them make some kind of contact with the mainland United States. So that's the takeaway. All right, so where are we? Let's roll this out. Got a little something going up this way. Got a lot of something here going this way. That's our concern. It's this next wave, and that's what we'll be watching for. And the new tracks are out. Let's just rewind this for you. Play it out in real time. This is a lot of data, folks, so forgive the refreshing that's from 1992. Here we go. So here's that wave. The first one goes up. Almost like a football play here. Blocks the Bermuda high. Allows this second wave, and all these lows are the second wave, to go more west. See that? No curve there because this blocked the high. Now this high starts rebuilding back in, but that almost hurts our case here and pushes this thing more to the west. So all those lows begin traveling west, and that's as far as my model goes. But you see here, there are 40 out of 51 runs in here between the islands and Bermuda. A lot of them are just on trajectory. If you were to continue these lines out, a lot of them are trying to head west. And if you look at the colors, that's another way to look at it. Each line represents a wind speed. There's your key. Those are in knots, not miles per hour. So if we zoom into this area just to see a sample of strength, you got 80 plus mile per hour winds. You've got some oranges in here. So lots of hurricanes with a couple of them verging on Cat 2, Cat 3s. So there's a lot to watch here. There's not a lot to be overly concerned about yet, but enough evidence here to say, okay, there's a hurricane that's probably going to form, and it's going to try to move west. Where exactly does it go? Yet to be determined. Here's the icon, early identification. You got a big one. All right, so when does the icon form it? It's got that wave splashing down Saturday, Sunday. So this weekend, within 48 hours, you'll probably have either a hatched area here or an X with a hatched area over here. That's going to be our system we'll have to watch. And from there starts the clock, 12 days. You have approximately 12 days for a system that's traveling right there. If it decided to come straight to the United States, it would take on average 12 days, which is good. We got time. We got time to track. We got time to respond, not react, right? We don't want to ever react. When has reacting ever done anything good for you in your life, right? But if you respond to a situation, you're much better off to have a better outcome. So here we are, this system and its moisture getting tighter organized early next week, Monday, Tuesday. And like we mentioned, kind of a formidable system here by Thursday, either on approach to the islands or just north of the islands. But this is likely going to be named Aaron or Fernand. Okay? That would be the system that we would have to really hone in on and stay abreast to. So folks, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know questions, concerns, things you like seeing, things you wish you could see more of. I'm here to provide that. I want to help you and your family prepare and to stay safe, and I will continue to do that. You guys are watching from all over the world right now, and that means the world to me. So if you're new to this channel, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give some shout outs to wherever you're watching from right now. And know that if you're watching right now, tomorrow's video, I'll be showcasing where people are watching from. And again, we'll keep that conversation going so that you can ask your question. You can see your name, and hopefully I can get to you on any given day. I try to keep these to around 25 to 30 minutes. And folks, if you're new to the channel, please go ahead, subscribe to this channel, share it with your family and friends, like this video, turn on notifications. So when I do another video, you're up to date on what's going on. So let's get right to it. Some of your comments here, some of your concerns, your questions, here to answer them for you. Can you see this? All right, we got Miss Southern Grace from Mississippi Gulf Coast. Chris, I want to thank you for not peddling the panic you know what, when it comes to scaring people for absolutely no other reason than clicks and likes. There are so many weather channels who push fear. They scream wolf over and over again until people no longer believe them, which can be very dangerous. New sub here. Keep up the great work, sir. Thank you. That has been something I've always tried to do in on TV, in meteorology online. Been on TV for 20 years. It's one of those things you got to take responsibly. People will say that I hype because I give an early outlook to it. But if they ever took the chance to watch my video and say, okay, what he said actually makes sense. No. My job as a meteorologist is to give you early warning. But I got to couch it in a way that's responsible, right? I can't just, like you said, scream wolf over and over again, because who the heck's going to listen to me anymore? And that's going to hurt my colleagues. It's going to hurt my colleagues that are broadcasting in other areas that are just trying to keep people safe. So no, you won't find hype here, but you will find some level-headedness. You'll find some candid conversations. I'm not afraid to show you what I'm seeing and explain it, or find the answer if I don't. Okay? Williston, South Carolina here. Thanks for your hard work keeping us up to date. We rely on your wisdom and level-headed forecast. Thank you, Patty. There have been a lot of storms here in Brunswick, Georgia, the last few days. There was some rain and some minor flooding, but we knew it was coming thanks to your wonderful videos. Thanks for all you're doing to keep us updated. Thank you for watching. You guys are my official Brunswick spotters right now. Keep us posted, and I'll do the same. So great to have a forecast in such detail with all the other stories, no distractions. Thank you, Chris, for keeping so many, including myself, informed and up to date. You are awesome. Walhalla in the house. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate that. We got Carl in the house. Great to have you here this hurricane season. Great info and presentation. Well, thank you for watching. We got Rose here from the Panhandle of Florida. Glad you're watching, caring for us. We got Quitman, Georgia. Thank you, Chris, for your hard work. Central Florida, Puerto Rico in the house. Thank you for watching. We'll keep you posted. I agree with so many of the other comments. I love the no-nonsense approach you take for weather reporting. I've been watching WYFF4 since I was 13 years old, and I've always appreciated how you and the members of the WYFF team, like John Sesrich, miss him so much, Dale Gilbert, and everyone else there. My family is originally from Florida and moved in 2005 because of hurricane season. I'm sure you keep a close eye on it. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Central Florida, we got Jacksonville, Florida, Tidewater, Virginia. We got Long, South Carolina. Hey, Chris, good to catch you on YouTube, watching from Slower, Delaware, Odessa, Delaware to be exact. Spent some time in North Raleigh 11 years. Still watch WRAL every once in a while. Heading to our home away from home, Garden City Beach, South Carolina, around the 16th. So these updates are great. See, folks, that's the thing I'm talking about. No matter where you're at watching right now, you have a connection to some of these areas that are in the path. So we all have a vested interest, and we're all just trying to figure out what's going to happen, right? And we will keep you posted along the way. So please share with your family and friends. Foothills, North Carolina, appreciate and trust you more than any others. Well, thank you. We got the Space Coast. I follow Brian S. and Eric B. Oh, man, you put me up there with some titans there, Dave. Thank you. Eric Burris, Wesh, and Brian Shields, yeah, both do fantastic work. You're in good hands if you're not watching me with any of those guys. Good stuff. Greetings from Pensacola. Hi, Chris, from Sarasota again. Hot and dry, interesting forecast today. Watching you. Thank you for your forecast. Pleasure to watch you bring the weather. Well, thank you for the kind words. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina in the house. We got Southern Florida Keys here. Keeping you posted there, Scuda. North Central Virginia. Appreciate your channel. Fort Myers, Florida. Man, you guys don't want to see anything. We'll keep you posted. Coastal Georgia, watching in the house. Plant City, Florida. Hola from Jamaica. All right, hola to you too. Wow, y'all have data. All right. Lakeland, Florida. Lake Worth, Florida. What's it looking on the 23rd? I hope it's beautiful. I hope it is beautiful as well. We got to watch it. That's the time frame that we're in question here, 15th through the 23rd. Okay, Kendall from Miami-Dade. West Kendall from Miami-Dade. West Kendall in Miami-Dade. Okay, gotcha. Watching from Myrtle Beach. Rotunda, West Florida. Somebody needs to warn the fish. Yeah, they do. That'd be something, right? Just keep swimming. Clinton, South Carolina. Anybody get my Disney joke just then? Somebody did. Conover, North Carolina. Hollywood, Florida in the house. My uncle is in Florida. He's with the Hollywood Police Department. Andrea, small world. Commonwealth of Dominica. Said that right. There we go. Second time I got it. Rogue Tropical Wave. Yep, gotta watch it. I'm with you there. Tampa, Florida. We would like to travel to Maggie Valley from Central Florida Sunday, August 10th on I-95 to I-26. How much rain or bad weather can we expect Sunday and Monday in those areas? I think you're fine this weekend. There will be some pop-up storms, but there will be nothing tropical in that time frame there. Please be safe. If something changes, please be safe there. Hilton Head Island in the house. St. Augustine, Florida. We got let's see if I can translate this. You're one of the best, and you know about it. I live in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. I had to translate that, but thank you so much for your kind words. That means the world to me. I'll untranslate it back. Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. That means the world. Thank you for watching. I'll stay dialed in on it. Please tell your family and your friends. Orlando, Florida. Central Florida. Stuart, Florida. Hey, you got family in Stuart, Florida. Tell them hello. Miami. Will Georgia get hit by a hurricane in August, yes or no? Too early to say. There's nothing that shows Georgia's going to hit right now. You got some time. Nothing's going to hit Georgia in the next 10 days. After that, we got to watch. Whatever comes, I wish you Americans all the best. No further catastrophic weather events. Providence, Rhode Island. All right. Watching it. Leesburg, Florida. Folks, that'll wrap it up for me tonight. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching right now. And if you're new to the channel, if you just now kind of popped in, please like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Comment in the comment section where you're watching from. I'll have another full update for you tomorrow, showcasing where the threats are, where they're going, and what you need to know about, and with a candid approach. So you'll know when it's time to be concerned. And, I'm not going to take that responsibility lightly. Stay safe, everybody.